Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is January the 18th, 2023, and we are continuing our study on the Lunar Sabbath. So, in this video, we're going to be addressing the Lunar Sabbatarians put forth an argument that the sun was made before the fourth day. They say that this word made here on the fourth day doesn't mean made. It means that it was already made and he just appointed it. Now this is the same word that's used for appointed in Psalms 104. But we're going to talk about that in another video. I believe you all have been brainwashed, and I'm starting to learn enough about what they teach. I downloaded a bunch of articles, and so I think I've put together what they teach so that I can hopefully unbrainwash you from believing that the Sabbath is not a Moedim, and from some of the other things that they've taught you in between those hours and hour-long videos. So we're going to discuss that in another video, hopefully coming up soon. I just need to read a few more things before I get into that. So this video, we're just going to be discussing the moon and when it was created. Now, to be honest with you, the definition for this was pretty clear to me. I don't believe that they studied for truth when they looked at it. I don't believe that it slid by them, because I mean, it's not hard to see the truth when it comes to this. So I believe that they were actually studying for error, and so they deceived themselves, because this is not hard to see when you look at it. But they say that God, this made here, means that it was already made. It was made at the beginning, either before creation began or on the first day of creation. And this just means that it was appointed. No, that's not what it means. Now, there are two creations. There are two creations in Genesis. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God had created and made. Two things. So let's do a search on them both. So we'll do created first. So in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And God created the great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, and their kind. And God created, I should have searched for, and God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. I should have searched for the numbers. Let's do that real quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Heavens and the earth, the great whales and the sea creatures, and man in his own image. Okay, so now let's search made. Okay, we have to find the number. H6213. Oops. We're going to go to the beginning. Here we are. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit. So the tree makes fruit. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And he said, let us make man in our image. And then he created in our likeness, but then he created man. So the difference between the two, they're really both almost exactly the same. The difference is when he created the heavens and the earth, he had never created a heaven and an earth before. When he made the firmament, he's made a firmament before. So he just made one. Trees were not the first trees. They were not the first to bring fruit. So the tree brought forth the fruit. They still made it. If you go into the kitchen and you take bread and you take lettuce and tomato and whatever you want on your sandwich, and you put that sandwich together, you just made a sandwich. You didn't create the sandwich. Many people have made sandwiches before, but you did make the sandwich. The Lunar Sabbatarians don't use good faith. They use the example making is like making a bed. Absolutely not. Making a bed is slang for making up your bed. It's like making up your face. When you make up your bed, you put it in a neat and orderly fashion, or put it in a pretty fashion, or something fancy. Okay? It's making your bed, unless you're going out there getting a hammer and nails, some wooden boards and a mattress, and throwing a mattress on top of it after you nail it together, then you did not make your bed. It is a slang term. They're being disingenuous. They're being dishonest. Well, I don't think they're being dishonest. I think they deceived themselves. Genuinely, they had to, because you can see that there is a difference. There is a clear difference between first of all, making your bed and making up your bed. They're not the same thing. That's a slang. And this made means he created. He spoke up here. He said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And the sun and the moon are those two lights. I have a scripture for that. To him that, I should have showed you I'll show it to you in a moment. To him that made, same 62:13, great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. The sun to rule the day, for his mercy endureth forever. The moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endureth forever. Rule is H4475. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule, H4475, the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. I'm getting off the subject here real quick, but I want to point this out because I know that there's some argument as to whether or not the moon and the sun are the two lights. They are. The moon and the sun are the two lights. It does not matter if the moon comes out during the daytime. It still rules the night. If the moon comes in the daytime and it is the lesser light, it does not rule the day. It just simply went into the daytime hours. Now, if the sun is the greater light and it comes and shines at night, guess what? You have a problem then, because the sunlight is going to absorb that moonlight and it is going to rule the day and the night. That doesn't happen. Nobody has ever seen the sun out at night. It doesn't work that way. So the moon can still be seen in the day because it is the lesser light. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The idea that you can make your bed and use this term here for that is just being completely disingenuous. Absolutely not. The two lights were made here. Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. That's what they do. And those two lights were described, those lights here were described down here as two lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars off also. It doesn't matter where he pulled the matter from. We don't know that. God has not told us how he can speak and have something come into existence. We don't know any of that. But you don't just get to make up something and say that it was created because of, I'm not really sure what they were trying to prove by making creation day the first or before creation. I couldn't find that. They were just arguing that against this made here. So, but I don't think I need that to complete the rest of the study. I mean, to do what, to unbrainwash you. I'm going to address Leviticus 23, 37 and 38, but I can't let you believe, not without trying to unbrainwash you, that a Moedim, which is the plural for Moed, that the Sabbath is not a Moedim. So I'm trying to learn it. My brain is a little bit clearer now, so I don't have to write everything down. I can remember stuff again. And hopefully we'll be able to get that cleared up. But hopefully I'll be able to come up with a way to convince you otherwise. Anyway, so that's my study on this. This is either an intentional or either a deception which they played on themselves. But made, the sun and the moon were both made here when he said, let there be lights. There's no reason to think otherwise. They just weren't the first sun and the moon that he's created. So he used the word made instead of created. There's nothing to indicate otherwise. Anyway, I'll close out there. And I will talk with you in the next video.